Okay, hi, hello. Namaste, everyone. Welcome back to the Healing Prana, your one and only all in one safe space where you can get access to yoga, meditation, diet, nutrition, and energy healing therapy, Ho'oponopono, NLP, and manifestation. In today's mini podcast, I'm going to be your host, and Shashi will be our special guest. And let me tell you something about Shashi that he is the best yoga and meditation coach I have ever met. He is
Thank
the
you.
only one with whom I have listened to without falling asleep during a session or whenever he is explaining about yoga. See, most people find yoga really, really boring, and I was one of them. I do meditation a lot. I love meditation, but when it comes to yoga, it's not my cup of tea. But Shashi completely changed the way I see yoga. He's based in Bangalore, by the way, and he has 10 years of experience in this field. He has led yoga sessions in corporates. He has done a lot of workshops. He conducted many, many, many online and offline seminars. And I'm really, really curious about one thing that Shashi, when and why did you decided that you wanted to become a yoga and meditation coach? Means were you doing something else before or you just started out after completing your graduation, this journey?
First of all, my I'm very grateful for having me in this podcast, Deepthi. What we seek is seeking us. I believe in this concept. Let's make it very understanding session for our viewers. Your question is very much intriguing. I will answer your question, but before that, let's see what is yoga. Now, it's just the three pillars. Just imagine it's a three pillars where it's an alignment of mind, body, and soul. It's just like a pyramid. Okay. Yoga is, if you want a authoritative classic definition of yoga, I would say it's yoga is as per the Sanskrit books. It's called yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Very simple. Okay. So what is yoga? Chitta vritti nirodha. So chitta, what is chitta? The mind's work is to always think that waves of patterns of thoughts keep coming to your mind. That's the work of mind. Through yoga, we sort of slowly cut down all these unwanted thoughts and you connect to your pure awareness. So, if you want to have pure clarity of thoughts, one, you need to go through your asanas, then you purify your thoughts through the pranayama, and then you sit longer times for dhyana. Why dhyana? So, only that you understand, you connect to your pure consciousness and you connect to your thoughts. To put it in simple terms, yoga is nothing but chitta vritti nirodha, to cut down all the unwanted thoughts that come to your mind and to live a happy and healthy life. Simple. Back to your question, I'm a management graduate. So after finishing my graduation, I joined the companies. I worked for a couple of top companies in Bangalore. And obviously, when you are leading a hectic lifestyle and erratic lifestyle, the first thing that gets hits your digestion. So I was facing a lot of health issues. So I went back to my roots. My father taught me a couple of asanas when I was in younghood. So I practiced those asanas. Then I started becoming more curious about what is it and why it is actually helping me in terms of healing myself. So I started becoming more curious and I started studying about it and it attracted me. That's what I said earlier. What is seeking you is what you seek is seeking you. So then I started my certification in yoga through Yes Vyasa. I started teaching a couple of friends first, and then I started going to the corporates. I gave a couple of free sessions earlier, and then boom, it's about 10 years now. I've done around more than 150 sessions across Bangalore, corporate sessions. So it's a wonderful journey, Deepthi. So it's just amazing.
Wow. It's really nice to know about how how beautiful journey that you have been through. And
Yeah.
as you talked about the roots, I would like to ask you, is modern yoga losing its roots? I mean, Shashi, see, do you feel that modern yoga is losing touch with its original roots and deeper purpose? Because these days we see yoga everywhere on social media, in fitness studios, as a quick fix workouts. Do you think something is being lost in the shift? Maybe we are focusing too much on physical and outer appearance, forgetting the inner spiritual, philosophical sense of yoga, which was originally meant to be cultivated. And what is your perspective on this?
I would say I would relate to your words, Deepthi. Nowadays, I'm not blaming anyone. Yoga has just become about physical transformation, and most of them they think about flexibility pre or post workout. They think yoga is needed. However, I would say this is the time our rishis would have thought that yoga would be a tool for mankind because it's we are at the peak of mental health talks which is happening across the world. Yoga is not about only the physical dimension which we need to look at, it's a mental aspect as well. It's not about only flexibility. As I said, yoga chittavritti nirodha, it's not just a body work, it's a mind work. Our rishis had thought about long ago that these tools would be really helpful in this current generation. Also going forward there will be a lot of mental health issues which through the yoga I would say we can heal most of the problems that people are facing nowadays. Okay. As I said, yoga is yoga is one of the eight limbs of. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So yoga is one of the eight limbs. Okay. So in eight limbs we have asanas, pranayama, and dhyana. These are the main pillars. Through if you're just bypassing one and you're going to the next one, it will not help you. I'll tell you how it is to be done. For example, if you want to have a strong base, okay, how okay now you want to build a concrete structure, you need to have a strong base, right? If you want to build a building, you need to have a strong base. Okay. For that, what we do is we sort of dig the ground and we put that concrete inside. We have that stable foundation. The foundation is our asanas, and before that is yama and niyama. These are the rules and regulations for to be clean, to have a clean place, clean environment, to self-study, to speak truth. These are the simpler terms. I'll make it very simpler. Yama niyama, followed by only then we practice asanas for the stronger foundation. Okay. We talk as we go forward, we talk about alignment. When you have a stronger body, only that can absorb the positiveness. Only that through that you can think clearly, you can think positively. So you do your asanas, then you want to energize it. You need to put more prana into it. Then we do the pranayama. Then slowly, once you have that pranayama, you have the strong structure, you have all the nadis working perfectly. Then you think about slowly reducing the number of thoughts coming to your mind, and you become oneness to the universe. I know it's a bigger concept. I'll make it very simpler. You need to practice asanas followed by pranayama, and dhyana, as we call meditation, is very vital at this point of time in our generation.
Okay, as you already talked about, how it can be really helpful for mental health. So, can you tell me that can yoga be really helpful with the trauma and mental health? And what does when you said alignment really mean in yoga?
Great. See, it's a broader aspect which when we talk about trauma. Being you a psychologist, you know how trauma is sort of get instilled in your nervous system and everything. Through yoga, what we do is we slowly take them. We understand each body at a time because every individual is different. Okay, we can't be doing the same for everyone. So that's when we give an individual preference to each one of them. Now, when we talk about mental trauma, we need to take them through the lot of breath work so that we balance the nadis. We have about 72,000 nadis. To put in simpler terms, we have right side of energy and the left side of energy. And in center, the both right and the left side of the energy interact. It just connect to each other, and then in a spiral way, it keep connecting throughout from the base of our spine to the top of the head. So each connection which happens, that's when each chakra lies. Okay, it's a deeper concept. So to make people understand, it's just that nadi shodhana, it's a breath work, what we call. It balances both the nadis so that you have a mental clarity of and you have awareness of what you're doing. Okay, so we take them to the lot of breath work, simple asanas, followed by chanting, so that it purifies the mind and the subtle body. Okay, so that's one of your question. And trauma, as I said, lives in the nervous system. We need to focus slowly on our breath so that we focus on the stillness, and gradually it revives our brain. Talking about alignment, DP, see, I did tell you about the pyramid structure. Okay. Now, ancient people knew how to harness the energy. The concept behind pyramid, there is something which they used to harness the energy through the pillar structure. Even if you see our ancient temples, okay, they have gopuras, and it is built in a good structure and in a scientific way. There is nothing our ancestors have done without any logic. Only that we are losing in the course of time. We have lost that passing the knowledge of the logic. That's when we do our own assumptions. Now, yoga is both physical alignment and energy alignment, I would say. Okay. When we say alignment, it's alignment of the prana, alignment of the nadis, as I said, right nostril, right side of the energy and the left side of the energy, and the chakras. When you have all three strings things aligned, it is that you will not have that mental illness or the physical illness. You will have clarity in your thoughts. You will be happier, and you can do any work without getting fatigued or tired. Okay, so we work on these levels, subtle levels. Okay, not just physical transformation.
Wow. And really, when if a beginner is watching this video, they must be amazed by it, because when I was just a newbie in yoga journey, I used to think yoga means only about asanas. It's nothing more than that. So now, after listening to you, it's really eye-opening. Podcast is going to be really, really amazing. And I would love to know, how can one integrate yoga and mindfulness into a busy modern life? Because nowadays we live a life where everything we want in a couple of seconds, in a couple of minutes, we want everything at our doorsteps. We have speed deliveries and everything. But nowadays, every single person are complaining about we don't have time. So, what's your perspective on that?
We have to. It's a wonderful question, valid question, Deepti, because this is the current issue what everyone is facing. Now we are all are actually looking at getting the things in fraction of second. As you said, speedy delivery, everything has to be done with a fraction of second, and in one click, everything has to be at your doorstep. So what are we cultivating? We are indirectly cultivating of being impatient. No one wants to cultivate the patience. No, everyone wants everything at the minute they think about it. So what is happening? It's a wonderful way of analyzing things. The moment something comes to your mind, if you're not getting that, you're getting impatient. And if you're getting impatient, you wait for a few more minutes or a few more months or whatever, you get angry. And the moment you get angry, the process of you being calm and taking a wise decision has already left. So it's an era of information. It's an era of screen time, which is completely overloaded, and people are impatient. You see road rages, everything. So what's happening is we are not training our mind. Yes, we are not training our mind. We're not training the mind to be patient. The moment we think has to be there. And the same thing we are also sharing the knowledge with our children, which is going to be a disaster in the coming years. So all we want to do is very simple. Start being grounded. What I meant is just close your eyes during the meetings, all while you're at home. Just slowly connect to the source. The source is simple, your breath. Just connect to your breath. The moment you connect your breath, automatically the nervous system cools down. You become calm and you can think clearly. It could be done in between the meetings while you're traveling. 5-10 minutes would do really good for your health. And if you have, as you said, you don't have time, make time to connect to your source. Do gentle movements, could be gentle asanas, which you know, or take a help of a trainer. So do a gentle movement so that you connect to your mind and the body. Because when I said mind, body, and soul, all three acts as pillars of a pyramid. If you're not connecting with any of these things, three, you're just living a robotic life. Okay? Connect to yourself. Spend 5-10 minutes, make time, make it a habit to spend for yourself. We're not doing for anyone else. Do it for yourself, please. Okay? Yep.
Wow, that's such a wonderful insight. As you, talking about connecting to the source, a lot of people see connecting to the source is nothing but connecting to the super conscious mind. But a lot of people are not even considering controlling their conscious mind or subconscious mind. A lot of people are facing this problem called anxiety. So, a lot of people taking medication for that. A lot of people are anxious, worry, and overthinking. So connecting to the super conscious mind is really a high vibrational activity. How how you actually tell a person, let's assume that there is a person who is saying, I'm really anxious and I always overthink a lot, and you're telling me to connect with the source. How am I going to do that? So what do you say to them?
See, I would say, when do you get anxious? Simple. When do you get anxious? When you think about your future, when you think that is beyond the present time, you become anxious. When you get depressed, when you think about what has happened to you in the past, then you think about it. You think that, okay, I could have done this way, done that way. You will get lost in the past and you get depressed. The more you think about future, the more you get anxious. See, the lot of conflicts going on around the world. You think about your children, you become anxious. The conflicts may bring another depression and people may lose job. They become anxious. So what is in your control? Try to focus on that, please. What you can control is your breath, the food, what you can have, the thoughts that goes into your mind, because the five senses acts as the receivers, and through that your whole character, all the thought pattern comes. So try avoiding the negativity. It could be in terms of the visual, it could be in terms of the hearing, listening, whatsoever. Try to connect to your source and try to cut down on unwanted things. And as I said, just focus 5-10 minutes on your breath. This is our source. When you talked about your superconscious, we everything is lies in us. Once we connect to the source, this source will connect to the super source. So let's make it a practice that let's connect to our source first. If you don't know what's what's happening in your body. You don't know how your mind is working, what thoughts are coming. It's no way you can connect to the super energy. So connect to your source. See how you're moving, how you're talking, how you're behaving with others. What sort of words are you using? What sort of thoughts are coming to your mind? So cut down on the other senses, five senses. Cut down the food. You see negativity, you get negative thoughts. You hear negativity, cut down on that. Automatically, you'll be able to think clearly. And the more you think about future to your question, the more you're gonna get anxious. Okay, so we need to focus on the present. Live in the present. See what best you can do. Use all the resources, and wow, so you will have a good future.
Wow, that was such a deep, explanation. And as you were talking about parenting and also, how do I bring mindfulness into parenting and relationships in our life? And whenever we have conflicts within the family or with kids or with parents or with colleagues, maybe with a neighbor. So at that time, how can I bring mindfulness in such a chaotic moment?
Maitri Bhavana. That is nothing but loving kindness.
Mhm.
Okay. So, so see, the conflict happens everywhere. Conflict happens within us. Conflict happens in the relationships. It's two different things where the reality is different, and what we expectation is different. We always assume things that okay, my spouse has to do this, my kids have to do this, but in reality, it won't be the same. Always, that's when the meditation of the dhyana mindfulness come to your picture, where you be calm, do your work. I would say Bhagavad Gita thing, where you do the work, leave the fruit to the God. If there in your karma, you get it. If not, just move on. I know it's easier said than done. But to your question, to a your question, practical answer would be try practicing Maitri Bhavana. Think that is your loved ones. There will be ups and downs in life. You have to sometimes let go of your ego, because once you think from the angle of ego, no relationship will be continuing. Okay? Try to practice mindfulness in communication, what you're talking, mindfulness while you eat, mindfulness while you cook, mindfulness in all your daily rituals. Spend some quality time with the children, spend quality time with your spouse, so that you are living a healthy and happy life.
Well, as you were talking about mindfulness and that Maitri Bhavana in each and every situation of our life, so it's like it's more like living like a yogi, a saint.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah, I would love to live like a yogi, but how can I be yogi when I feel angry and when I feel anxiousness? When I'm feeling those kind of emotions, how can I still be in a yogi mindset?
Okay, so now so we are humans. We are humans. We all have emotions. We all have emotions. If someone says that okay, I will not get angry at all, the person has already reached a next level. Okay, even when we see Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said the same thing. I'm like, obviously the great yogi Arjuna also struggled. He the emotion overwhelmed him. He was at war with his own relatives. He was anxious and he was angry at the same time, and he was sad. I'm like, okay, now the greatest of the great has succumbed to the emotions. So we are just humans. Yoga teaches about just transforming the emotions. You don't have to suppress it. The more you suppress, it comes in a negative way. You'll not be able to suppress at a one point of time, after one point of time. So you have to be aware, bring awareness in your all your daily life. Do not suppress emotions. You need to just A lot of things can be talked. If you communicate, a lot of things can be resolved. The true healing means embracing emotion with awareness. If I'm being angry, I need to be aware of why am I being angry and can I resolve this? I know, see, saying is very easy, but all this happens when you practice mindfulness, meditation, when you're doing a asana, for example, if you hold for 30 to 60 seconds, your mind will be saying, why am I holding these asanas? Come on, let's go to McDonald's. Come on, let's go and have corneras. So that's when you start practicing or training the mind. That's the science behind it. You know what is your emotion. We all succumb to the emotions one or other point of the time, but how can we reduce that? That's when the yoga comes to the picture.
Well, that was very lovely, funny explanation to my question. And yes, so let's say everyone who wants to do yoga after listening to this podcast, or they just starting their yoga journey, or maybe they are also advanced yoga practitioner. So, but there are a lot of people for whom yoga is not, accessible. Maybe there are no in-person yoga classes were going on in their places. So what do you say about what is your say on that? How do we make yoga accessible to all the people who are watching this video and who wants to do yoga, but maybe they are not able to go to a place and learn yoga?
I would say they are doing yoga already. Doesn't means they are breathing properly, they are living, everything is synchronized, only that they are not building the awareness. So if there are no yoga classes, doesn't mean that you're not doing yoga. You're walking, that's a yoga. You just focus on how you're walking, just following your footsteps. You're just aligning your mind, body, and your energy there. That's a yoga. You're gonna eat. So every day, so just focus on the plate, the color of the fruits, the vegetables, the the food what you eat. You're connecting your mind over there. That's yoga for you. You're just doing exercise. Be conscious. Don't think about something and you do. You're just moving your body. That's a yoga for you. We in your yoga practices, what we do is we start with sukshma vyayama. That's nothing but loosening our body parts, and then we slowly get into the yoga mode. Start with any sort of a loosening exercise. We call it as a warm up in fitness. Start with that. Slowly start grounding, where you just connect to the ground. Just notice how you're placed. How is your toes? How is your heels? What is your hands doing? The moment you connect to that, you're doing yoga. And gradually focus on your breath. Focus, place your right palm or palm on the stomach. Just focus on your breath. Automatically, you will feel calmness.
Wow. So yoga is not just about asanas, it's about the way you live your life and the way you see your life. It's really deep. We have to take some pause in order to digest each and every golden nugget that you gave us throughout this podcast.
Thank
And
you.
as we have reached to the end of our podcast, so I would like to ask you, do you have any suggestions for our viewers?
Please practice mindfulness meditation. It's a high time. We are looking at huge number of mental health patients in the coming years just because we are not training or we are not connecting to the source. Practice our roots. Our root is nothing but our rishis have given a wonderful tool, could be used for previous ages, now and in the future as well. The tool is to connect yourself through yoga. The moment we get away, we go far away from the source, we get disconnected and we can easily be manipulated. Okay. So yoga, Ayurveda, whatever the roots, our Indian rich history, rich culture we have got, we need to slowly start connected to them, and automatically nothing called stress, mental stress, depression, anxiety. anxiety, everything will be kept far from us. Okay? Do yoga, you will be able to work smarter, you will be think clearly, you will be living a healthy and happy life. So, what else do we need on and off the mat? You'll be able to live happily. Take care of yourself, and thanks so much for having me today, Preeti. God bless you.
No, thank you so much for giving such a deep information that I only heard it for the first time. You know, I always thought yoga was really, really boring, but you really changed the way I look into yoga. It's true, it's true. And
Thank
it's
you.
coming from bottom of my heart.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
viewers, yeah, viewers who are watching this video, and we are conducting a 3-day free healing sessions for your full body detox. And in that healing sessions, there will be yoga, meditation, there will be diet and nutrition guidance, and there will be energy healing therapy, Ho'oponopono, manifestation, NLP, everything related to your physical health, mental health, and your overall well-being. You don't have to run for different experts, and you don't have to go for the appointments. You will get everything at one place. So I would recommend you to just check out our website and check out our WhatsApp group. Just join the WhatsApp group and start your healing journey. Just don't wait anymore.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Preeti. So, it's called the Healing Prana. It's three pillars again, which is talking about like a pyramid. We have Deepti, the psychologist, the energy healer, Harini, nutritionist and dietitian, and myself, yoga and meditation coach. Happy to see you all. We will mention the number. Please join the WhatsApp group. It's going to be a 3-day detox program which we'll be giving out. Please do register. Thank you.